Terrifier has always been kind of an underdog story for me. And not because there's an underdog in it, because it was created by an individual who had one simple goal: make a nice horror film with a killer clown in it. And it was done well, mostly. The shorts created by Damien Leone were The Night Circle and The Terrifier was created basically at his house or home with a bunch of his friends. And then he got an offer to make it into an anthology film called All Hallows Eve. But we won't be going into that too much at this moment. But anyway, he created the film we are about to review today after doing a GoFundMe account and working around part-time jobs just to create this little piece of bloody goodness. Wow, could you imagine an actual Hollywood director having to work part-time job, flipping burgers and whatnot just to make a film? I mean, this guy really has determination. So sit back, jump into that pool of blood, and play with some organs. We are about to review Terrifier.
Sweet things are made by me, talking about movies constantly, watching films on any screen. Everybody's watching something. It's an orcish review.
Now, Terrifier, like I said, was based off a short story made by Damien Leone. And I watched it on All Hallows Eve. And I didn't really get interested in it. I watched the original flick and enjoyed it for what it was. And when I found out there was a spin-off, I honestly didn't jump at the opportunity to buy it. But I randomly came across it on one of those free streaming apps when I was first introduced to such thing. And I thought, what the heck, let's try this bitch out. And I was surprised by what I found. And, oh my gosh, it actually inspired me to do a few things. No, nothing bad. Don't jump to conclusions, people. I mean, I actually wanted to make a movie myself. And it's partially why I'm doing a YouTube channel today. Because I want to perfect my skills. And personally, I think Damien Leone did the same thing with his films. Started off small and worked his way up. Now I'm about to get into some bloody details. So, unless you want to be stabbed in the head with some spoilers, I suggest you jump to this time code. The film begins with a talk show host, Monica, talking to a severely deformed woman. Supposedly, this deformed woman survived a horrible massacre. Of course, Monica is asking questions about the controversy about the killer known as Art body disappearing from the morgue, suggesting he's alive, which upsets the deformed lady, and she responds, she saw him die. Making the killer, who's watching all this interview on an old television screen, kick it, shattering it everywhere. Oh, so dramatic. But then we see this awesome intro of the killer preparing for the night of the massacre he's about to create. And personally, I don't know if this is actually inspired by the Nightmare on Elm Street intro where Freddy is creating his glove, but if they did, makes me love this film even more. The film then shows Monica basically complaining how she had to interview this scary woman, and then she's attacked in her own makeup room.
Part of the deformed lady.
Being disfigured herself. Wow. She's not so pretty anymore. That's why you don't complain about the ugly people. The film then jumps to Tara and her blonde friend, I'm calling the blonde one Blondie, leaving a party. And, of course, Blondie is drunk and being annoying, and they run into Art the Clown. And of course, the blonde one's first reaction
To scream.
Hey, handsome!
Cut it out.
My friend wants your number.
this is the type of friend I want to ditch, and hopefully feel guilty about it in the morning after she called me yelling. But anyway, well, they're too drunk to drive, so they go into a pizza joint just to kind of sober up or something like that. And of course, the clown follows them and proposes to Tara. I mean, he stares at her and everything, and it's pretty damn creepy. He takes a toy ring and puts it on her finger. Wow, no red flags there whatsoever. Of course, the blondie didn't help anything. She taunts him in a way and even takes a selfie with the stupid clown and responds this way when it puts a ring on Tara's finger.
Aw.
No, not all. That's a creepy-ass clown.
Art the Clown leaves and goes to the restroom, and he pisses off the owner of the pizza place because he wiped his name on the bathroom wall in his own shit. Wow, classy guy, huh? The girls leave the restaurant later on and realize the car they were driving, its tires are slashed. So Tara calls her sister, Victoria, and asks if they can come pick them up. Of course, the sister agrees to this. It was either that or watch her so-called considerate friends make out in front of her. Back at the pizza restaurant, the body-positive individual is cleaning the bathroom stall and tries to walk out when he realizes that his boss's severed head has been hollowed out like a jack-o'-lantern. Dang, I don't know how he does that. I mean, I have a hard time carving regular pumpkins, let alone a human skull. He attempts to leave or run, and it fails drastically when Art decides to cut off his hand and make his face look like one of those pizzas that fell on the floor and you flip back over. And during all this time, the two friends, Tara and Blondie, are talking about how the clown creeped them out and blah blah blah. But Tara decides she needs to go to the restroom. And her friend, of course, recommends they use the building in front of them, with the guy that comes out looking like Michael Myers. And of course, the guy lets her in to use the restroom. And Tara goes into the place, learns the guy is an exterminator, and is named Mike. And Blondie, while sitting in her car, hears a radio talking about the onslaught already, and she is kidnapped by the demented clown. There was an extended scene that kind of made this overdone. I'm really glad to cut it out, but it's nice to at least gives us an idea how the clown kidnapped her. Tara runs, of course, into this crazy lady, and we don't really get to know her name, but she's delusional, believing that Tara is the new neighbor and she has this doll that she believes is her living baby. So Tara's just like, gets the fuck out of there. And she runs into Art the Clown once again, and he attacks her. He stabs her in the leg, he torments her a little, and she almost escapes. She gets up, she actually hollers for the help from the exterminator, who of course has freaking headphones in. And Art the Clown injects her with a very dirty needle. At least I'm assuming it's dirty. I don't see any part of this guy saying hygienic. And she wakes up tied to a chair. And Art the Clown torments her, taunts her like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Don't. But Art the Clown reveals that he has her friend tied upside down, and he proceeds to cut her in half with a very rusty blade. Dang, I'd like to know how Art the Clown cuts things so quickly. I mean, I worked in a butcher shop, and I had an automatic saw, and nothing cut this quickly. Anywho, Tara escapes and beats the crap out of Art. She's pretty smart. Stabs him in the back with a knife, hits him with a board a few times, and it actually looks like the final girl is going to be badass. I mean, I can't wait to see her continue throughout this film, and son of a bitch! That's right. Art, being a petty bastard, shoots her in the leg, walks up to her, and shoots her in the face. On the last bullet, it jams or he runs out of ammo. So he gets a full magazine, returns, and unloads all the bullets into her skull. Wow. He does not like his food playing back, does he? The homeless lady, of course, witnesses it, and he gives her this creepy smile, and she runs for her life. She tries to get the exterminator to help her, but he doesn't listen, thinking she's just nutso. When the exterminator tries to call, I'm assuming the other exterminator, he gets hit over the head with a hammer. And the crazy homeless lady runs downstairs and realizes her baby is missing. And she discovers Art the Clown is cradling him. She tries to convince him to give the doll back, but it ends as well as you would expect. Honestly, it kind of ends worse. Victoria finally shows up to this building to help her sister and the so-called friend. And Art texts her saying they're around back, that Blondie is sick.
Using one of their phones.
And she witnesses everything. The cut-in-half friend. And she mistakes, for some reason, who we, for a minute, think is Tara. But it's revealed it's Art the Clown wearing the wig and the womanly parts of the homeless lady.
What the hell is that?
Damn. Art must have a nice ass, because I don't care how good a shape you are in, men's ass and women's ass do not look the same. Victoria runs for her life and locks herself in a locker. And of course the stupid clown has to torment her, taunt her, but basically saying, there's nothing you can do, I'm going to kill you. But the other exterminator shows up, and Art quickly gets rid of him. Victoria tries to escape, but Art, of course, puts a plastic bag around her head, but she rips it off and stabs him in the foot with, I believe, is a railroad spike or a nail. And of course, the damn clown is petty as hell. And Victoria discovers Tara's body, and I believe this is when she finally just breaks down. Art the Clown shows up once again and starts whipping her with this nine tails with makeshift objects. There's razors, knives, needles tied to it. Wow. I have no experience in this, but that looks painful as hell. Of course, Mark the Exterminator shows up and knocks the bastard out. I don't know why he just didn't bash his head in, but that's just me. They call 911, they attempt to escape, and Art finishes him off by smashing his head into jelly. He attacks Victoria once again, and she bludgeons one of his eyes out. She runs like hell, gets to what she believes is a safe place where she thinks that Art can't reach her. Except, the second she hears sirens coming, Art the Clown uses the exterminator's vehicle to run into the building and knock her down. And he proceeds to, what I think he's doing, eat her face. The cops finally show up. Wow, they're really dependable here, aren't they? And they tell the clown to put down any weapon, to put your hands on the head. And being the masculine killer that Art is, takes out the gun and puts it in his mouth, ending himself before the cops can arrest him. And it proceeds where they take his body to the morgue, And he comes back with some kind of supernatural presence, promising a sequel, basically. And then it ends with revealing that this all happened the previous Halloween, and Victoria is the deformed lady from the television that we were watching from the beginning of this film.
What a twist!
Now, I really love this film. It's violent, it's cool, the clown is creepy as hell. I mean, look at the son of a bitch. He never makes a noise. He's just a violent individual randomly showing up. We don't know anything of him, which personally, in my opinion, makes him more terrifying. And every kill makes his outfit more red. I mean, it actually brings some realism to it. The characters are okay, but this is a good start for a nice franchise. And it makes me look forward to a lot of things that Damien Leone plans to make. The film was only made for about $35,000. And considering how they filmed it, I mean, this is basically a homemade movie. Damien Leone used a crowdfunding website. Sorry if I said a FundMe website, I had that wrong. And got most of the money by himself. And what he didn't get, he worked around part-time jobs to create this nice little thing. He definitely is a master as cutaways, because how he knows not to focus too much on certain kills or certain images. He makes things that should be cheap looking look great. No, don't get me wrong, you can see some flaws here and there. The acting is okay, but the kills are great, and I love the clown. The body language really sells this psychopath. And you know what? It's worth the watch, people. And Damien Leone made his film, and he actually has 2 sequels. One that's already been released, and the other one is about to be released in a day or so. I believe this Thursday. And I'm excited. Anyway, if you liked my channel, like and subscribe. Follow me on my social media accounts, and if you leave a comment down below, and if you hate my guts, leave a comment anyway. Have a good day.